Okay. Here's the information I have for you. Whatever sort of hardship you've experienced, partially it's in order to harmonize relationships in your life. That will be sort of a side effect of whatever it is that you're dealing with. But most importantly, what came out here? Career transition, clairvoyance, moon cycles, and prioritize. What I'm feeling is that whatever it is you're catching this message, it is being recorded in real time during the full moon in Virgo, just right before. So I'm filming this right after I filmed the full moon video. So I think in that message that came through, a lot of us will experience some sort of important transition, meeting point. It's like Two Swords energy, decision, crossroads at that time during that full moon in Virgo. If not, and you're catching this at any other time, because it will be timeless, just pay attention to the moon cycles of when this is coming up for you. I'm really being drawn to the eyes in this career transition card, so there could be something important to do with your eyes. Okay? Like, people trust you because of your eyes or something. Some in your workplace, you'll hear that a lot or something. I'm seeing someone who's a barista and they you're probably still wearing a mask in your workplace and people are really noticing your eyes. There's something about that. What this card says is your life purpose is triggering a blessed career change. So for some of you, that means, yes, you will be changing careers, but for others, it's that whatever it is you're doing will pick up so that you can support yourself doing what it is you're meant to do. And it's something to do with that full moon in Virgo. If, like I said, you're catching this in real time, it could be at any time. That has to do with those crossroads and making the decision that you have to make in order to move forward. It's kind of like, I hate to say it, but a sort of spiritual test that you will go through, that you have gone through, you're going to go through. And whatever hardships you're dealing with are, wow, I just got the metaphor of being forged in fire. So you know how like certain metals are placed into fire to make them stronger, like to make a dagger really formidable. That's kind of the metaphor they're showing me for you. You're being forged in fire. You're experiencing difficulties to see kind of what you're made of. And you, every time you deal with them and you don't get off track, like it might be difficult, but you stay the course to whatever ethics, morals, guidelines, rituals you've put forth in your life, and you're sticking to those. It's kind of like you're winning. It's making you more formidable. So for your sake, that's great. But for Spirit's sake, they're recognizing you. And perhaps it's sort of unfair that you have to go through this or deal with this, but it's because whatever it is that you do or are doing or meant to do is so important that it's sort of like you have to be tested in order to make sure you're right for the job. Does that make sense? It's sort of like doing all of these things to prove that you're the right person for the job. Look at this. You know what to do. It says, trust your inner knowledge and act upon it without delay. So if you have been doing that, if you already did that, great. That's great news. It means that you've been following the path. Trust your inner knowledge and act upon it without delay. This card is reminding me of the Hermit with that lantern there. The Hermit did come out in that full moon reading. And look at this, overcoming difficulties. I can't help but think this is for you as well. The worst is now behind you and you are surmounting any previous challenges. There's a real turning point here, and do you see how it's sort of like a roadway, a pathway? That's very relevant. I'm being drawn to the 3 birds in this card. So either that song, 3 Little Birds, that's a great song to channel. Bob Marley. I'm getting the Holy Spirit, something about that with those birds. They're doves, they're white doves. Something holy, something about the Holy Spirit. It says, notice how the moon affects your energy and manifestations and capitalize upon these cycles. So I would say pay attention to how they make you feel and when it is that you can get the most work done. In the, it's not the easiest way possible, but it's like the most effective way possible. It's best for all. It's for the greatest and highest good in order to work with those cycles of the sun and the moon. Prioritize. Focus on your highest priorities. I will help you get organized and motivated. Yeah, that's more of that energy. So dealing with whatever difficulties that you're dealing with, but not losing sight of the bigger picture. So this is sort of a continuation, but an expanding of the message in case you're not into moon videos, I think. It's that this message that was coming out was so important that like everybody had to have access to it. So I do just, this card showed itself again, relationship harmony, and I'll go ahead and read it. It says, we angels are opening the hearts of everyone involved. Arguments and conflicts are being resolved now. As I said, I think that's a side effect of dealing with whatever you're dealing with. But maybe it will come off that way to you, but in fact, it's actually a very important part of like why this was designed the way it was. And that'll make sense. I think it'll make sense in retrospect. Like down the line, you'll see how this thing was set up in order to make this happen. Clairvoyance. I am helping your spiritual sight to awaken fully so that you can clearly see heavenly love. What I'm noticing about this card, this is Archangel Raziel. What I'm noticing about this card is all of these colors, and they're reminding me of the different colors of the chakra systems, and it's some sort of alignment. And it's weird. Who would think that like hardship, because that's what I'm channeling, would be the thing that causes this sort of alignment in your life? But that is specifically what I'm getting. Because what's most important is that you are strong enough for the job that you have gone through. I just heard the gauntlet. So I'm getting a lot of like medieval kind of knight sort of terminology and imagery. So I don't know if that's relevant to someone or it's like a past life kind of thing, or they're just bringing it forth in order to make it clear, like it's like about challenges. It's about proving oneself. And the knighthood, you know, is very honorable. It's very diligent. And I mean, it's an honor to be a knight, and it's a recognized mint from higher authority, right? So the knighthood, maybe that's what you're stepping into spiritually. Yeah. Yeah, lots about the knighthood with this. I'm seeing like the Olympic flame, so athletics, that sort of thing. Lots about like competition and recognition. I'm getting also military. So this doesn't have to be literal to your life. This is just a metaphor to kind of get through, like that's how it's being taken spiritually. There are these different practices spiritually, like on different planes, and it's sort of like competitions like that and recognition like that, and that is what you're being recognized for. Okay, So this is kind of a quick channeling, but we'll go ahead and get some tarot cards. Once again, the High Priestess literally flew off this table. So I know this is relevant. I know that this has something to do with something that was written. I know that there were obstacles written in here. And I know that there's a choice that you need to make in order to get further, in order to get to the next step, in order to achieve this High Priestess level. And this doesn't have to mean you're working a spiritual job or that's your calling. It's just you're a seeker keeper of knowledge for whatever it is your field is. You know, can you think of like the most important or successful people in whatever it is that is important to you? It's sort of like they have lived experience, they have knowledge that it was passed down to them and that they pass down to others. And it's like they are this treasure trove of information and they are a resource for others. And that's you. And that's what you're being asked to be in your life. The title that I got for this reading is called Progress, Not Perfection. So once again, with that Virgo full moon energy, it's that idea of perfectionism and challenging that in order to focus on the highest and greatest good. Breathe. Wow, that was a real jumper. Did a 180. Stay grounded, stay lucid, stay connected. What do the viewers of this special message need to know? That was the King of Wands, very dramatic. Not hiding your light. All right, Four of Swords. What have you learned? What is it that you've learned through your challenges? What is it that you've learned through your difficulties? What is it that you've learned that you can pass on, you can give thanks for? Say, thank you, universe, for giving me this challenge. Because of it, I have learned this. I have learned X, Y, Z. How can you reframe the narrative in order to see it that way? That's what I'm getting with this card, kind of storytelling. Reframing the narrative so that you achieve your highest potential. You achieve this High Priestess status. The moon, right? Moon energy coming through. It feels very powerful. It's sort of that kind of power that comes to you once you know how good you are at something. And that's not like a cocky thing. That's not like, it's just a knowing, right? And it's not, you don't have to brag about it. You don't have to prove it to others. Others know it too. But it's sort of, it's just this like quiet knowing of what it is that you have. It's also taking something seriously. And because of that being taken seriously, it's weird. All right, we're getting lots of cards here. This was just a big mess. The Emperor and the Ten of Cups wanting to show themselves. Anything else for this special message? Progress, not perfection. Page of Pentacles. Taking steps, slow steps in the direction that you need to. And the Tower. Wow. This is like, I want to say, okay, I'm getting a few things. On this positive side of this is like making small steps, doing small things, maybe having a daily routine to working on whatever it is you are. And this is like sudden success, like really big, very, very, very big, suddenly. So it's kind of a blessing and a warning at the same time of like being aware that you're about to make it almost, and it can kind of, it'll be a bit of a shock. It'll be a bit unexpected and it'll be a bit big. So it's like having everything in order so that you're ready when this happens. Do you have anything else to say about that? Hold on, they want one of these. What is it about this tower that you're... It feels positive. Nurture. As you nurture a child, you nurture your own inner child. Both activities are important for you right now. Like I said, what I'm feeling with this is making sure everything is aligned, ready to go in order, whatever you've been working on, because you're about to get back from whatever it is you've been doing. And with that may come like more clients, more bookings, more attention, more information, more people, more exposure, something like that. So it's nurturing yourself, taking care of yourself, and just making sure that whatever it is you're doing is all in a row, because you might see some sort of sudden change in that. Anything else on that? Okay, that card said breathe, so I'll try to get you one more card and then I'm going to let you go. So breathe. Breathe into this. Another message being with that moon, Page of Pentacles, and the Tower, sort of on the more negative side, is like if you've been dealing with something, I don't feel like you're in danger or anything like that. It's sort of like whatever you've been dealing with that's kind of like been a drag. It's sort of like it might be a bigger deal than you realize. Whether it's like something going on at work or your living situation or whatever, it's sort of like suddenly finding something out that's like, oh, the business is closing, you have to move, the house has been sold, something like that with this Tower. So Page of Pentacles, kind of keeping one foot in front of the other, just continuing on, is staying level-headed, but knowing that there might be some curveballs right up ahead. Is that the message? Yeah, okay. I kind of want to clear that out, though. High Priestess, Four of Swords, the Tower. You might receive some sort of spiritual gift that you didn't have access to up until this point. It's like, wow, I'm just getting, it could be activated by the sun. That sounds really weird, but if you have a connection to the sun, maybe do some sun meditations. Please don't go staring at the sun. That's never a great idea. Eight of Cups. Nine of Pentacles. I wasn't really asking a question. In search of this independence, self-sufficiency, continuing on that path no matter what, if that's relevant to you, that's coming through. What will be the outcome of that? Five of Wands and the Three of Swords. Ouch. Disappointment, chaos. Six of Wands, the Lovers. So, once again, what were we channeling? Hardship, difficulty, something you're dealing with. Five of Wands, Three of Swords, chaos, and heartbreak. What's going to come of that? Six of Wands and the Lovers. Complete, beautiful resolution, victory, and success. All right. Best of luck to you. Let the Tower fall, because this is what you become afterwards.